Welcome back to the 2013 C77 Design Awards. In case you haven't watched any of our other announcements, I'm Sarah Spear and I'm the program manager for the Design Awards program. I'm live again from New York City on the third day of our broadcast week, and today is full of exciting categories. First, we have social impact, followed by consumer products, the soft goods category, and then DIY. But for now, we're here to announce the social impact category winners and honorees. Ravi and his team were unable to join us at this moment, but he was able to put together an amazing video for all of you. So let's go ahead and get that started for all of you to see.
I'm Ravi Naidoo from Design Indaba in Cape Town. I'm the jury captain for the C77 Design Awards Social Impact category. Design Indaba is the biggest design platform in the Southern Hemisphere. It comprises a conference, an expo, a film festival, a music festival, and something called the Do Tank, which is a whole series of projects that are concentrated on design for social impact. So it's quite pertinent and quite poignant that we were asked to assemble a team here in Cape Town to adjudicate on the C77 Design Awards for social impact. So I've selected 3 jury members from Cape Town, all of whom have got great reputations in the design space and have had instigated projects that have had massive impacts in communities locally.
Hi, my name is Porky. I'm Porky Hefer.
Hi, my name is Tsai. I'm a designer in Cape Town.
I'm Heinrich Wolff. I'm an architect.
And I'm one of the jury for the social impact categories.
For the C77 Design Awards.
What is remarkable about this category is to see the amount of people who concern themselves with the plight of others, to try and see if they can make an impact on the world, the people who have faith that design can change the world. That is really exciting, and it's good to see that people put effort into it.
We were really impressed by the student entries. There's definitely a lot of creative thinking in the social impact arena.
The first student notable, Peck, by James Wood from Bournemouth University, Poole, Dorset, United Kingdom. Peck is a wild bird food available in 200-gram pots aimed at children in the UK aged between 5 and 12. Collectible cards are included in each pot, 50 in total. These help to teach children about birds in the UK. The whole product aims to better link children with nature in our modern technology-dominated society. It is wonderful to have kids conscientized about nature and particularly the fauna of their particular country. And I think it's tapping into a wonderful human behavior. Student category, notable, Hemo Mobility Mobile Blood Donation by Innovation Design Engineering, Royal College of Art, London. So Hemo Mobility reimagines blood donation in the UK, addresses the need for wider participation within our growing and aging population.
The one thing that they managed to do in this project was bring the blood to the people.
It reveals your blood type and it addresses needle fear and the stigma normally associated with blood donation.
We really enjoy the simplicity of that thing, the way they thought the system through of how a person can donate blood. It's very relaxed experience as opposed to sort of the very serious, cumbersome, big seating with a big tube.
What it does most effectively is that it removes the stigma of blood donation and really enhances the service provisioning of these professionals who operate in the sector. Student category runner-up, Elephant Tap by Alta University, Chamboga University, Makerere University, Swinburne University, all for the UNICEF Finland National Committee. Elephant Tap is a hard-wearing, theft-deterrent tap designed primarily for schools in developing countries.
We really enjoyed the fact that they went over there to engage with the community, to understand what they need before coming up with an idea, a game plan.
The technology behind the Elephant Tap was also remarkable in that it was made of material that could be sourced locally, some of it reused, and then made by local industry in order to be sold locally. So in that sense, there's a local empowerment initiative.
Very clever, taking something which we only see in high-tech bathrooms of sort of business class lounges and stuff, but bringing that through into Africa, using the same technology, but it's a far simpler technology with very clever thinking.
Student runner-up, cross-trainer wheelchair by Andrew Lowe from the Carleton University School of Industrial Design, Ottawa, Canada. The cross-trainer wheelchair is designed to introduce disabled youth to adaptive sports. It bridges the gap between daily use wheelchairs and specialized equipment used to play adaptive sports. It's low cost, and the cross-trainer chair can be adapted to several sports. It has a unique camber adjustment to increase its functionality, and we clearly see that sport can play an instrumental role in helping a child to accept their disability. The chair can grow with the child through the years instead of being replaced at a high cost. It brings into the disability realm what we've taken for granted amongst able-bodied people, the whole concept of cross-training. It's wonderful that it's able to give a disabled person greater breadth in being able to play sports and as well as to adapt his existing wheelchair for other purposes such as basketball or playing tennis. And at price points which are not too dissimilar from the average wheelchair that's provided for disabled people by government subsidy. The student runner-up is Scratch by Hideki Matsui from the Copenhagen Institute of Interaction Design in Copenhagen, Denmark.
The Scratch submission was a really remarkable entry in that it took a subjective experience, namely that of scratching yourself, and it visualized it and it measured the extent to which people scratch themselves, particularly at night, for the purpose of this subjective experience being known to themselves. They can see when they scratch themselves more or how often they scratch themselves, whether people are aware of it or not, but also so that this measured information can then be communicated with a health practitioner, which is really fantastic. The other thing that made that submission also remarkable is the sense to which the author took some issue that he was suffering from, and he extended it from personal experience. So he did not objectify others and say, well, these people need me, kind of thing. He had a problem that he thought needed to be addressed. That was his problem, and he addressed that. And I think that as an attitude towards design, that is a really valuable one.
Student category winner, Kalinda by Emily Riggs of the Brunel University, United Kingdom. Kalinda is designed to prevent transmission of HIV through breastfeeding in sub-Saharan Africa. It is a simple, clear, binary indicator which works in conjunction with a process called flash heating to show when HIV has been deactivated in breast milk.
It's really nice of somebody who immersed themselves in a certain situation and understood the medical dimension of the problem, but also understood the practical problems that people have in preventing mother-to-child transmission.
The solution she fashioned was absolutely fit for purpose and absolutely fit for that unique socioeconomic context. The solution costs just 20 pence. And it's simple. The graphics, even in the user manual, are eminently accessible. And I thought the process of flash heating to heat the milk up, the breast milk, up to 72 degrees Celsius was a fantastic innovation in this instance. It doesn't change any of the properties of the milk itself, but it's sufficient in order to be able to ensure that the virus is not transmitted from mother to child. Professional category, C77 Design Awards, Design for Social Impact. Notable, Obama for America mobile campaign by 1323 in Austin, Texas. This is the mobile strategy for Barack Obama's 2012 bid for re-election. Working with Obama for America, it's an ambitious set of mobile applications designed to support Obama's large base of campaign volunteers and grassroots supporters.
It's an amazing platform. It changes the game for political campaigns. I suppose not only that, it changed the game how mobile can be used. It showed people that it can be taken to another level.
It gave people who wanted to help Obama and normal volunteers, people from the street, a voice, and it gave them information that they could use informatively and interestingly to the people they were talking to. A lot of the times you don't really have the stats or the figures or anything that can turn a person into voting. And the stats and figures are not something that really interests the person that you're talking to. But the nature of the information given and the nature of the app being available at any time, you could answer any question as opposed to we'll get back to you, was really immediate. And I think it really helped put people into the political process in America.
I particularly like this app, beguilingly simple, very, very easy to use, but with tons of data sitting under the skin. So it was a wonderful tool to enable activists and volunteers to be able to do their work out in the field. It was location specific, and they were able to break it down to block by block and street by street. Professional notable UNICEF emergency response simulation game by Frog Design and Andrew Steyer in San Francisco, California for UNICEF. The UNICEF emergency response simulation game is a 2-hour immersive experience designed to illustrate the challenges of humanitarian relief work. Players gather in a space, they're organized into 5 content-specific teams. There's a web application which is accessed on the computer that acts as a guide for play. Players must work within their team and across teams to complete tasks, culminating in submitting a supply plane order to UNICEF headquarters in Copenhagen. It will shortly become a public, open source tool aimed at increasing awareness about UNICEF. I think simulations are very important, especially for mission critical activities. And it's a beautiful, very pragmatic game to aid volunteers to understand the complexities of meting out emergency aid post-disaster, post-emergency. Professional runner-up Clean Team by IDEO.org, Unilever, and Water and Sanitation for the Urban Poor. Clean Team is an affordable in-home sanitation system in Ghana that offers residents an alternative to unsanitary public latrines. It's a portable toilet delivered to private homes. It's serviced 3 times a week, with families paying for the service on an incremental basis. It has the potential to be extended to other low-income communities. It's created employment and a sustainable business model. It's a franchised operation with local operators and distributors, and it really is also about education around sanitation.
A very interesting thing which involved critical discussion with the people in the areas, talking about sanitation, home sanitation. So there was the process up front in investigating the problem. The solution came with a toilet, and not only a toilet, another process, which was employing local people to help in the process, as opposed to having to rely on a city council or a government organization.
People can receive this, it gets cleaned, and there's a whole strategy behind how it's maintained. For us, that's really the key to the success of that project, so thumbs up for that.
A really great campaign for the people, by the people, doing something which really a lot of people don't care about, but people have to take into their own hands.
What's really, really neat is that it's being converted into something which could be a business model for the future. It can be franchised, and also the collection of waste could be a further addition to the business model, because it could provide biomass for generation of energy. Professional runner-up Wheelchair for Children in Guatemala, in partnership with the Guatemalan Foundation Transiciones and Design Without Borders from Oslo in Norway. The Wheelchair for Children in Guatemala was a project that developed a pediatric wheelchair customized to the needs of children in Guatemala. And this particular project aimed at transferring knowledge about design methodology to enable highly skilled technicians to create a pediatric wheelchair. It's customized to meet the needs of the users in Guatemala, and the production materials and facilities are really available locally. Transiciones' goal is to become a financially self-sustainable organization through this wheelchair workshop, and accesses industrial design expertise whenever required. This was a heartwarming project. It really is a sustainable solution. It involved people who are in wheelchairs, so they have a unique understanding of their condition. I love the fact that the utilities used for creation of this particular wheelchair were all parts that were easily sourced, mostly from bicycles, and also that there was a significant skills transfer from the professional designers from Design Without Borders to enable this local NGO. And I think there's a wonderful chance that this could become a sustainable social enterprise in the future. Professional winner, Biolite Home Stove by Biolite LLC, Brooklyn, New York. The Home Stove is a biomass cook stove that converts waste heat from the fire into electricity to power an internal fan that reduces toxic indoor smoke. It eliminates greenhouse gas emissions. The energy used can be used to charge mobile phones and LED lights. It's designed for users in developing countries, extremely cost effective. It's certainly safer than cooking with open fires, and it's a commercial solution. It's not an NGO that requires donations.
We really thought this was just such a very clever idea. Where technology tends to make things more complicated, again, this thing made it much more simpler.
What we liked about it, particularly in the social impact category, is it was not conceived as a project to do good in some poor country. It's a bit of technology that was developed for camping, ostensibly, that works incredibly well in that context. It makes a small little fire, it generates electricity out of that fire, that fans a little fan that makes the fire burn effectively and generates electricity that then can be used for a light. But what was remarkable about this one is that the authors of the scheme considered a broader application for this technology. So instead of thinking what poor people would need or something like that, is they considered how technology could serve everybody, as opposed to thinking how it could serve the rich or how it could serve the poor. They considered how this new technology of them could serve everybody.
The sustainable idea behind the project is vital. How the person receiving that thing can actually continually use that thing. So cost, the material needs to be simple for maintenance. For example, the Biolite is multifunctional. It offers to do one thing, but it has another thing that can benefit the family. So for me, that's very, very important. You've spent the energy trying to create a product. If that product has various functions that can satisfy the family for various needs, it's great.
I think that we're getting the opportunity to do design now for a much harder time that's going to come up. And we need to use our time now before the proverbial hits the fan, and start using our thinking, using the youth, listening to the youth and understanding. It seems that the youth really are coming up with the solutions.
If the principles that we hold in design does not serve everybody equally, they're not worth having. And in that sense, social responsibility must be an integral part of every design. Or it's not social responsibility. Our designs should address the whole of society.
The people are doing it themselves now, and I think that's what design needs to be. Design that enables the people and not divides people between the haves and the have-nots.
I think all design should be for social impact, to be fair. I mean, we in Africa in particular are latter-day converts to the world of design. I mean, Design Daba for ourselves as a platform has been going for 19 years. But we just realized that growing up in the tumult, which was South Africa and apartheid South Africa, that design should be part of the toolkit for us to face down the challenges that we have. And I think design for social impact is crucial. All too often, designers haven't been brought to the table in terms of discussing the most vexing problems of our day. And I remember in the early days of our democracy, when we were asserting the fact that designers should be included, and I remember the politicians referring to the fact that we had more pressing issues like water, sanitation and housing, all of which we consider to be design problems. And so I think designs can play a huge role. So thank you to the Core 77 team for allowing us the opportunity to adjudicate and appraise the best of design for social impact from across the world. We are particularly heartened by the quality, particularly of the students, as well as the professionals. It's wonderful that so many bright minds across the world are applying their minds to design for social impact as opposed to just design in service of brands. And I think it bodes well for the future of design. Given the fact that we talk to you from Cape Town, a unique part of the world, in Africa, we thought that we should play out with a message from an illustrious personality who probably knows more about managing projects for social impact than we do. So I give you over to Archbishop Desmond Tutu in another guise.
Are we on? Testing, 1, 2, 2, 2. Oh, thank you, Core 77. You know, I was just busy playing Angry Birds on my iPad. Such a clever game about Helen Zill. Just a little joke. Did any of you design this? Well, pity, very, very clever. I must just say, you know, I'm very excited about the beautiful ideas, that the youth have brought forward in this social impact category for the Core 77 Design Awards. I remember when I was 77, oh, my wild youth. You are all such clever people, and it just shows how we can all make a change. As that old saying goes, change is like a flower. It blossoms in the right light. I just made that up. Oh, I love this modern world, Facebook, Twitter, hashtag, skinny jeans. So exciting. I mean, some of your projects really consider two big issues that plague us in today's society and solve these with such wonderful, simple solutions. I love the Biolite home stove. I mean, you can charge your cell phone with it, so I can check my WhatsApps from my besties till late at night. And it also reduces toxic indoor smoke. I didn't even know this was a problem. It's wonderful. And now some families don't have to walk for kilometers to charge their phones, and their beautiful children can do their homework at night because the stove has a LED light solution. Oh, the children aren't happy about that. I wish I had an LED light. And the amazing Kalinda project, it prevents the transmission of HIV through breastfeeding. A wonderful project that helps Africans live a long and happy life, just like me. Congratulations to all who participated. You bring me so much joy. Your designs are inspiring. Just like my iPad. Original, cost-effective, and sustainable. Viva social upliftment! Viva! Thank you, Core 77. Your projects have touched my heart, just like I touched my iPad. Did I mention it's called an iPad? Oh, yes, 3 times already. Oh, come on, Badge. Let's see what we can do here.
Congratulations to everyone who received a mention for the social impact category. All of these projects are truly incredible. Be sure to check out more photos, videos, and stories for these projects on our gallery website at core77designawards.com. Thanks again for everyone who tuned in for our announcement. Our next one is at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the consumer products category, so be sure to join us then. Thanks.